big old court case is starting up on Monday, and yes, it's involving a lot of people that you know, and a lot of people that you probably liked at one point or another. I know, as far as it comes to having a celebrity crush, is that the proper terminology? Amber Heard's a bad bitch. We'll just go ahead and throw that out there, but, hotness does not quite make up for dropping a fucking turd in your bed and making some Me Too allegations and beating the fucking brakes off yourself in order to try to ruin somebody else's career. That's a little bit of a turnoff, don't you think? But this is going to be going to trial. It's going to be televised, and I know the coverage is going to get fucking flooded, so I don't know how much I'm actually going to be doing on this because it's going to be a long trial. A lot of people are emotionally and time-wise just totally invested in the trial, and they've been covering all of this stuff way back in the UK trial, and then immediately before that with all of the allegations that came out beforehand when it looked like Johnny Depp was beating the brakes off of a little fucking still very cute blonde, and then all the other stuff started to come out at the same time. So there's a lot of people that are going to be covering this, and we're just going to give you a little bit of a primer. And like I said, it's going to be televised and all that stuff, so you're going to be able to watch it all of your own volition. But it's another one of those things where this is going to be the highest profile Me Too case that's going to be out there and going to be going to trial. So the media coverage on it is going to be, let's just say, Rittenhouse-esque, probably on that scale of honest to Kyle. It'll probably be a 6 or a 7 on towards the Kyle and selective reporting side, because the media is still, I don't know why and I don't know how, is still very, 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 very much believe all women. And Johnny Depp, even though he has the receipts for all this stuff, is still the bad guy, and he's the one who's still canceled, and Amber Heard still has acting gigs, which is fucking bizarre because is deviously attractive. We'll just go ahead and put that. I think that's a fair assessment of things. How she looks now is still very common, okay? And the name Johnny Depp and the acting talent and the quantifiable talent that he has isn't quite as rare, and there are very few Hollywood stars at this point that are still active, so he's been thrown to the side because, yes, believe all women. So here's a little bit of a primer, okay, because I'm not even 100% sure of everything that's going to be in this, okay, because, like I said, it's going to be a big trial, and there's going to be a lot of coverage on it, so we'll try to glean some sort of take on this. Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard face off again in Fairfax, Virginia court Monday. The $50 million defamation trial will lay bare their doomed marriage, but the two may be sparring with ghosts, as well as each other, friends, and family members. The star-studded witness list include Heard's former lover, Elon Musk. That's my guy right there. That's my guy. Actor James Franco, WandaVision star Paul Bettany, who, by the way, is winning at life because he's in a very successful, even by just regular standards, not even Hollywood standards, still married to Jennifer Connelly, who, if I am to say, okay, with any definitive statement, Jennifer Connelly in like 1990 and 1991 is the most beautiful woman to have ever existed. Full stop. I know I say no simping a lot, but I was 31, so a long fucking time ago, so it was impossible, but still. Good for him. Long and short of it, good for him. Ellen Barkin, don't know who that is, representatives from Disney. I'm sure they'd probably love to talk about anything else besides the fucking catastrophe that they've created for themselves in Florida. So, and Warner Brothers, who still employ Amber Heard, okay, because I'm still I know that she's still a part of the Aquaman series of disasters, as well as the ACLU. And the LAPD, at least one nurse. Yeah, exactly. She's going to testify as to the temperature of the bed turd. Among the evidence is previously unseen police bodycam footage of one of the ex-couple's altercations, as well as explosive text messages between Depp and Bettany. Depp and Heard will also take the stand. That ought to be fun, because you might have seen some of the testimony from Amber Heard from, I think it was the UK trial. She is not likable at all whatsoever. She just comes across as just being rehearsed and irritable. okay? But of course, that's just a little extra homework if you'd like to look into that stuff. It is readily available. She is not a likable person. Still, though, the pictures speak for themselves. Each has an army of lawyers and publicists coming in with guns blazing after Depp lost his initial libel trial against The Sun last summer. That was in the UK, because the UK has bizarre laws when it comes to defamation, having sued the London newspaper for calling him a wife beater in 2018 article. That's not defamation. You said I beat my wife. I got the receipts. I've never beat my wife. Yeah, it's the journalistic integrity. They can do whatever they want. It's The Sun. Nobody takes it seriously. Fucking what? Said the charge was a lie and accused his sociopathic ex-wife, of all the violence in their marriage. During the London trial, Heard claimed that Depp was always the aggressor. It wasn't my fault. I was just the helpless woman who would hit myself in the face with a frying pan. And any response from her was to defend herself. Of course. Listen, it was Johnny Depp's fault that he bought those sheets that were just oh so comfortable to pop a squat on. Johnny's team had a certain strategy in going into the UK to sue The Sun. A source close to Heard's team told the Post, of course you're going to try to win the battle of public perception because, she was the #BelieveAllWomen advocate. She was the face of the movement because evil Johnny Depp. How could you hurt such a helpless, beautiful woman? Oh wait, no, she's a total fucking disaster and public opinion has completely changed because everybody thought in the back of their mind, really, Johnny Depp, like everybody likes him, and he would do that. I guess. But then everybody got wise to it, and it's like, okay, cool. So that was all just a big liar, huh? Okay. But he still hasn't got any of his jobs back. The burden was on The Sun to prove there was abuse, not Johnny. His lawyers thought that they'd get a reasoned judgment in favor and bring it back to the United States and use it in his trial. Instead, they lost. Yeah, thanks to a really baffling decision by the ideologically possessed judge or justice, whatever, one of those motherfuckers with the curly white wigs in the UK court. Okay, it's weird. It's just as weird as Canadian law, anyways. So they are starting this case with a significant deficit and a much higher burden to meet. Actually, no, they're not. UK law and US law, kind of broke off during, can I put it really like a date on it? 1776. That's when they stopped looking at and respecting UK law. Different country, okay? Because then you could just throw this back. Oh, okay, cool. By that logic, okay, Johnny Depp would have a very good claim because he could bring those same charges against journalists in Saudi Arabia and get a very preferable decision. At the same time, at stake this time is Depp's contention that Heard defamed him in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed, implying he was a domestic abuser. The headline of Heard's piece read, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." Why is that? Heard's essay did not mention Depp by name, but but said the implication was clear that it was him. Yeah, exactly. My husband, my longtime live-in lover. Well, you were living with him, so let's just fucking keep that straight. There's just a spastic old dude who just thought that, this is just going to be, that's a much worse picture, but that was just going to be a fun fling, but then she wouldn't leave because she couldn't find the spare toilet paper. The new trial will focus on whether Heard was telling the truth about Depp's alleged abuse of her, including during their fiery May 2016. That's how long ago this was? Fuck. Blow up in Los Angeles, which led to the separation and to the actress first accusing Depp of a domestic violence. Wow, a tale as old as time. But the difference this time is that numerous expert witnesses who were not allowed in the London trial. Exactly. That's why it was such a very significant decision for Amber Heard, because none of the evidence was allowed to be presented from Depp. Have either already submitted testimony or will do so in court. That should tell you something, okay? Because now you're actually activating Hollywood actors, like legitimate Hollywood actors, not like, done and dusted actors, like guys who still have roles and still have jobs and still have careers. They're going to come down and they're going to testify on the guy who's been canceled's behalf. This is why this is such a big deal, okay? This might actually finally drive a stake in the heart of Me Too. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a little too optimistic. Two of the 4 LAPD officers who responded to the 911 call from Heard's address on May 21st, 2016 did not testify in London, but their testimony will be heard in Fairfax and, insiders say, could favor Depp's side. Yeah, exactly. Especially if they have that weird thing called body cam footage, because it's really hard to try to spin, especially if there's anything damning for her. Those officers carried body cam, and that footage will be shown in court for the first time. Yeah, it's going to suck for her. Person familiar with Heard's case said to expect more doctors and psychiatrists. Cool. This bitch is crazy. We can't hold her accountable. Oh, really? But she wasn't crazy enough to be writing a multi-thousand-word op-ed for the Washington Post? Really? Yeah, more pictures, more audio, more video. Please be spicy video. And more documents showing there was abuse. Oh, you probably don't want to show that, especially if you're on Heard's team. It will build on what was presented in London. Cool. Why didn't you trot it out then? Just saying. But it was a very preferential decision for us. Sure. Heard's claim was that she planned to give her $7 million divorce settlement to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital. What? It's like, okay, cool. The American Civil Liberties Union. Okay, cool. The same place that's been like vocally against free speech for years and has saddled up to the Me Too and Believe All Women movement, and then the Children's Hospital. That's fine and all, but how many children were affected by this? The only ones that were affected were the fans of the Pirates of the Caribbean and Fantastic Beast franchises who Johnny Depp ended up losing his roles for. So weird, I guess. But yeah, no, that divorce settlement will be put under the microscope according to people familiar with the case. I'd imagine so. Literally, this trial is laid out for 6 weeks. That's what I'm hearing, at least. So it could be shorter. It probably won't be any longer, but everything is going to be discussed. Depp's team will present evidence that they say shows the actress did not donate the money as promised. Oh no, a woman lied. Oh, come on. I couldn't believe that at all. And especially Amber Heard. Oh, dude, come on. But Heard's side is expected to claim that the donations were promised as pledges. I said that I'd do it, or think about it, so I thought about it. And that she has not been able to fulfill those pledges yet, given the extensive post-divorce litigation. I thought you were a successful Hollywood actress, not somebody who was on the decline and had a very, very short list of roles, and then all of a sudden you make these claims, and then you get cast in the big DC films, and oh my god, now all of a sudden you get this career resuscitation after everybody realized that, yeah, you're a hot piece of ass, but you're absolutely dog shit in front of the camera. Maybe some of those home videos are just going to go ahead and paint a different picture, but no, all of a sudden, yes, you get all of this support, and then you undermine it by the fact that you lied. Sucks to suck. Depp has 38 witnesses on his list. Don't you dare call them. Oh my god, and Heard has 81. Ugh. Although both have about the same number scheduled for in-person testimony. Thank God. Jesus. Some witnesses have already given testimony and will not appear in court. It is apparently impossible for Depp's team to subpoena Musk, given his security entourage, but he is on Heard's list as planning to testify by video link. All right, that'll be a fun day. Heard's 1,530-page item exhibit includes a text message exchange between Depp and his Avengers co-star, Paul Bettany, in which Depp writes, let's burn Amber. Let's drown her before we burn her. I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards. Sorry, this is just weird. To make sure she's dead. Cool. It's not like a death threat, though. It's pretty spicy language, but kind of fails the Brandenburg test. Just saying. And don't be overwhelmed by that exhibit that exhibit list. There's a lot of ground to be covered here. But still, though, I like the dedication because, yep. Many who know the ex-couple, including LA private investigator Paul Baresi. That is the most private investigator name that I've ever seen. Can't understand why they are still going at it, suggesting both should just move on and focus on restoring their careers and reputations. Yeah, that's the problem, though. Depp, without this defamation suit, it's just a success that this is going to trial for him. Even just that, okay? He doesn't have a fucking career. Don't you get it, stupid? Once you're canceled, you have to wait like a Mel Gibson amount of time. And Johnny Depp is 50-ish, and you've seen some of those recent pictures. He's not getting any thinner, so his roles are going to be awfully limited, and that's going to be when he's 60-ish, okay? Because he's kind of on like a Marlon Brando trajectory right now, and we all know how that ended. Hey, Johnny and Amber Heard should walk walk away, Bress, he said, tipping his fedora down in his dimly lit room while striking a cigarette, who was once hired by Heard's team to look into Depp. That would be why he has his take on this. Listen, just drop it. Stop going after her. There's nothing to find there, except for, like, everything that he's found. Stop it. Just go away. Just live your life. Stop being salty. The time is long overdue for them to concentrate on their careers. They'd be better people for it, I'm sure. One has ill-gotten gains, and the other one, you know, is like a superstar that was, like, universally loved and praised, and, was kneecapped by a vengeful broad who was probably on the way out, let's be fair. But insiders familiar with both Depp, 58, just focus on your career, 58, and Heard, 35. Now you know why she decided to pull all these allegations. 35 years old, no career prospects, and you were banging a man 20 years your senior who's getting tired of your shit. Who were married in 2015 and divorced in 2017, said that their ex-spouse's long-running battle may seem like War of the Roses, but actually was more Freudian overtones. Depp wanted to fuck his mother? I'd imagine that's probably going to come up. Several sources close to Depp and Heard told the Post that the actor wants to clear his name for the sake of his kids. Okay, 22, that's why, okay, cool. Stepmommy wanted to make good for the kids. 22-year-old actress Lily Rose Depp and 19-year-old Jack Depp, whose mother is Vanessa Paradis. Oh, right? Yeah, exactly. That's another reason why he's pursuing this defamation lawsuit as well, because he has kids that are coming up who are going to have the domestic abuser father, that specter hanging over the top of them. That's why he's going through with this as well, because he probably still has, like, a lot of fucking money. Okay, just saying. Johnny Depp was a pretty famous fucking guy, in case you forgot, okay? And he was a part of a lot of big fucking blockbusters. Like, prior to the MCU, you remember how famous and how successful the first three, I hate the fourth Pirates movie, but you remember how successful those were? Those were two out of the three were billion-dollar box office successes, okay? I'm just saying, he has plenty of money. But he's got kids to look after and a reputation that's just, it could be easily resuscitated if he just goes through this. Others said drama surrounding the pair is more likely rooted in their respective pasts, not the present. Yeah, no, exactly. We're talking about something that happened in 2017. What the fuck are you talking about? These are two people who had a troubled, abusive childhoods. Oh, yes, it's all about the childhood. Okay, cool, because they were what? Like, they went to school together and they were beating each other up there? Is that what this was? No, these were two fully grown adults. One who was slandered and one who was lied about, and the other one who was doing some fucking wild stuff. But it was all about their childhoods, right? Of course, familiar with both Depp and Heard told the Post Amber had a difficult father, who she's pictured with there very recently. But no. Difficult father. Oh, okay. That she once compared to Johnny. Okay, cool. And Johnny's mother was very tough on him. All right. It may be why both of them keep fighting it out and not letting it go. What? They had abusive childhoods. She had a strong father. Apparently not strong enough because she was still acting up like this. And Johnny Depp's mother sucked? Okay, cool. Maybe that's why he kept her around for as long as he did. That would make sense. Shadowing the Texas-born Heard and Depp, a native of Owensburg, Kentucky, are the mutual histories of the trauma that carried them. Tell me about your mother. Them long before they met one another. Ugh, God, this fucking psychobabble nonsense. Amber once compared Depp's alleged violence and substance abuse. These were all lies, by the way. To the issues of her dad's 7-year-old, David Clinton Heard. What? Hold up. She testified during the London libel trial that in March of 2013, Depp went on a 36-hour cocaine and alcohol binge. He had to get into character, okay? He was basing Jack Sparrow off of Keith Richards. He just had to fucking do some method acting. What are you talking about? Because he thought she was cheating on him. Oh. Okay, I don't believe anything that comes out of Amber Heard's mouth, but somebody calls her Mix-a-Lot because there's a big old butt coming. The fact that he kept around this abusive woman for as long as he did, big old simp alarms go off in my head and big old beta alert. Yeah, I could believe that, but again, he went on a bender because he thought that you were being a whore. How does that reflect bad on him? To the public, like, I'll drag him for just... not kicking you to the curb. It's like, Why would you take somebody back that you think was cheating on you? Heard also said that her father was abusive towards her mom. Oh, okay, cool. But was she abusive, or was he abusive towards you? And can you quantify any of this stuff? He was abusive. Like what? Yelled at her. Okay, over what? Dinner being cold. Okay. But her father's abuse wasn't as bad as Depp's. Oh my god, more psychobabble. This will be terrific. Thank God we're wrapping up here shortly. That picture right there, she looks like Madonna, like modern day Madonna, by the way. Just look up the pictures for your own horror story. My father was violent to my mother, and and they really loved each other, Heard testified. Okay. Depp, makes my dad look like a saint when he falls off the wagon. Okay, cool. So she's just literally throwing everybody under the bus. My father was violent towards my mother. What? Yeah, but Depp's even worse than that. So that reflects poorly on your decision-making, stupid. My dad struggled with alcohol abuse issues his whole life. He's an addict, and he was very violent. But I love him very much. Oh, see, she's just a good girl who didn't do nothing wrong, okay? She's out here, she's just trying to fix the world, and she's just trying to fix all the bad guys' problems, okay? Of course, in the course of working for Heard against Depp, Baresi discovered that David Heard was once arrested, convicted, and served jail time for running a pit bull fighting ring in Texas in 1980s. Okay, cool, but domestic violence or anything like that? Oh, okay, cool. He was running dogfighting rings in Texas. It was the style at the time. Criminal courts, documents from Midland County, Texas showed that David Heard ran a dogfighting ring with 7 pit bulls on his 10-acre property. But what else was he doing out there? Walking his fucking wife out there every single time that the fucking dinner was late all the time. And why is my daughter a whore? Anyways, Heard was included in a report released Wednesday by the Center for Counseling Hate in London that outlines the abuse that some high-profile women face online. Women most affected. You should have waited and added my video to your report. That would have been out there because, like many women, I have been harassed and sexually assaulted online. By the time I was of college age. Please give that quantifiably wrong and false statistic that 1 in 5 women are raped on a college campus. Please be that stupid. But I kept quiet, of course. I did not expect filing complaints to bring justice. No, that's exactly the way that you achieve justice. Unless, of course, you just want sympathy points. Like you just, make very obvious that that's exactly what you're trying to do. And I didn't see myself as a victim. Okay, cool. So I had a crime committed against me, but I wasn't a victim because what? Okay, cool. Heard wrote in her Washington Post essay, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse. Yeah, exactly. The domestic abuser side of this. I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out, who lie. You're being held accountable. Hurts, don't it? Friends and advisors told me I would never work again as an actress, and I would be blacklisted. For lying? Well, you'd hope so, but a movie I was attached to recast my role. I had just shot a 2-year campaign as the face of a global fashion brand, as it was an Irish makeup company, Shiner Be Gone. And the company dropped me, she continued. That's nice. Just like Johnny Depp did drop me all the time across our big mansion. Oh, wait a minute. Depp, meanwhile, has been candid about his abusive childhood, saying his mother, Betty Sue Palmer, who died in 2016, often beat him and threw objects at him, including an ashtray and a phone. Oh, there you go. That old saying that men are just trying to find and fuck their mother. Case in point. My mom was maybe the meanest human being I've ever met in my life. He said at her funeral, although he said it with that he loved her very much. That's weird. All of these people suck. Unless it was like a joke out at the end. It's like, I love her very much, but she was mean and awful. Okay, weird. Close relative of Depp, who spoke to the Post on the condition of, that her name is not used, admitted that Betty Sue could be tough. Okay, cool. We're skipping ahead a little bit because I see the timer on this, and there's only so many woman-beating jokes you can get away with before your channel gets taken down for hate speech or inciting violence or something like that, but that picture right there is probably the reason why Johnny Depp decided to take a chance on this fucking spastic woman. It's the messy hair. It's the messy hair. Anyways, Depp claims that Heard's Washington Post piece damaged his reputation and ended his iconic run as Captain Jack Sparrow. At least you know my name. in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, as well as his role in the Fantastic Beast series. That's a series? I thought there was just one. That fucking went nowhere at the speed of smell. In response to his defamation lawsuit against her, Heard filed a counterclaim for defamation, asking for $100 million. Broke, bitch? Sucks to suck. Bad you can't recapture your youth, but I guess that's what you were probably trying to do at the time that you made those claims. The case being brought to trial is proof that the court acknowledges the notable amount of preliminary wins, evidence, and witness in support of Johnny. Spokesperson for Depp told the Post. To decline the opportunity to wear one's name and allow someone who is taking advantage of the system to walk away with zero repercussions would be careless and could set a dangerous precedent for similar situations in the future. You hope so. Yeah, I hope so, because yeah, like I said before at the beginning, if y'all remember, like the fucking half an hour ago, this is about holding Me Too accountable. This is about making liars pay. This is the only way that you stop this fucking nonsense, okay? Because yeah, every once in a while, a fucking Me Too allegation is just so patently absurd, but the guy who always catches these quantifiably and obviously fucking fake charges ends up losing a lot. Look at Trevor Bauer. He lost a year of his fucking career due to some absolutely bogus fucking claims, okay? Earlier this week, okay, there was that wrestler from NXT, right? He got fired on something that just looks so fucking bogus, okay? Another case of a jilted soon-to-be former wife trying to get that one last run, just trying to take somebody down on their way through the fucking floor. And for Kimberly, it's awfully easy to break through such a barrier. But you remember, you just compare and contrast, okay? Amber Heard, at the time, okay, so she's 35 now, so when all of this shit was going down, Johnny wifed her up when she was, okay, so that's 7 years ago, okay, so she was 28 at the time, and when everything was all done and dusted, what was she? Oh, she was, when they got divorced, she was the ripe old age of 30. Things are a little bit different when you're 28 and when you're 30. She seen the writing was on the wall and it was screaming at her, realizing that that choo-choo money train was fucking pulling out of the station and that, hey, guess what? Somebody was going to have to try to cash out one final fucking time. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be covering this day after day after day, unless you guys just like overwhelmingly like this shit, and then I find some time to try to watch, because watching these trials comprehensively, and it's in Virginia, so like the time works out for me, because it's 2 hours ahead of where I'm at, so court would start at 7 o'clock, and if they run for 8 hours a day, it's done at 3, so I'd be able to watch most of the shit. It's just, ugh, God, all of those narcissistic actors that are going to be up there, it'll be a slog, but I'll try to dip in every once in a while, especially if there's some highlights, and depending on what Elon Musk says, that could be just fun in and of itself. But enjoy your weekend. Lots of crazy stuff going on over the weekend, I'm sure about it, and we'll be talking about some evergreen stuff, some relevant news topics, but all in all, just how fucked up the world is becoming, and let's all just have a laugh, shall we? With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.